People ask, be it songwriters or artists, sometimes what my favorite song is, and I think that's so hard, and it feels like, you know, somebody's like, well, which child do you like the most? And you point, but you don't tell them. You're like, but I think Grace's Amazing Hands really is, and I think that's for a few reasons. One, I love to play it live. It's still a song that every time I get to play it, I'm so excited. But I think maybe the most is, I think from music to lyric to melody, it's one, because it was kind of the first song that I wrote that I felt like this is what, if I could put everything I feel like into a song, it'd be it, from style and you know, like I said, melody and lyric and stuff. But I think also, because it gave me a chance to sort of not just be like a pop writer. It sort of has an R&B, well, it does have an R&B feel, and so I was excited as I was this guy with an acoustic guitar that I could do something that sounded like that. So I love that song. I was listening to this record that's still probably my favorite record, called Peace and Love by Tommy Sims, and it's such a direct, that song was written, I was still in college actually, I was a senior in college, and I just remember writing it being like, oh my goodness, this is, I was so excited, and I think it really gave me a lot of hope that maybe this is something I could do, because I felt like I'd really stumbled upon this gem of a song. I was reminded of how fun it was getting the band, because I'd never played it with a band, and hearing the guys playing on it, and Dan and Calvin both just, and Ed, who played electrics on it, it was so much fun, and hearing those guys bring it to life, and it was such a precious thing to me, and even is now, but I think having never recorded, I was like, man, what if they play and it feels way too this way or that way, and we really got it to exactly how I wanted it to sound, which was really fun. Ed was so funny, sort of coaching me through the solo too, because I remember we recorded, and he was like, no, you need to sing it first. Like, he made me put the guitar down, and he made me sing it, and then play the guitar to what I'd sung, which was like so embarrassing, and I had no idea what I was doing, but I still think that was a really cool idea, because I sort of played all these solos that were like terrible, and he was like, no, and that was a really good lesson for me. He was like, sing it first, know the melody you wanted to do, and then play. And then Calvin is singing BGVs on that bridge, which I thought was the coolest thing in the world when I wrote a bridge that had a key change at the time. I remember being 20 or 21 and thinking like, I did it. Thunder and lightning and some tears, and a unicorn flying. One of my favorite things about Grace's is also that I met Marc Broussard through that song. We were at well, no, actually, we met online, which sounds really sketchy. It is sketchy. It still is sketchy to me. We met because I emailed him, and somebody had told me that he knew the music, and he was out opening for Maroon 5 at the time. And I just said, hey man, I heard you know the music. He was like, give me your number, I want to call you right now. So he called me. He said he was coming through Nashville. I went to the show, Maroon 5, saw him open, it was great. Both bands were obviously great. And afterwards, we went and hung at a friend of his studio. And he was like, man, and so we started playing Grace's. Like, I'd never met him, I didn't really know much about him, and of course he's got such an amazing voice. He started playing the song, and it was just, still kind of gives me goosebumps when I think about it, because a huge reason that I started to write music was to have other people sing these songs I'd written. And so hearing his voice singing that song, which again is one of my favorite songs, was and still is, one of my favorite moments, I think, in my career.